Hi, this is A. Wesley. That ain't even tells it like a TI is. If you like my video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. I put on this beautiful outfit because it was Good Friday and it's Easter weekend. I wanted to put on something light and pretty. But anyway, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. This topic I'm going to talk to you today about is marriage and medicine reunion part one. Union part one. uh, it started off with Andy going out to all the girls' dressing room, asked them how they were doing, and were they ready for the reunion. Everybody said they were ready for the reunion, and then after that, they everybody was on the set, and he was saying, "It's nice that you can bring your train along to the set with you, Fergie." She said, "Yeah, I got a pretty long train." They would kick in about that a little bit. And then the next thing you know, he said, "How are y'all ladies doing?" They were all sitting down and stuff. And they all said, "Yeah, we doing good. We feeling good. We feeling great." He said, "Okay." He said, "Sweet tea, did you bring something into my dressing room?" She said, "Yeah." Uh, it was words of affirmation, and what it was, she had put a picture of Heavenly when she was younger and how big and fat she was and stuff like that because Heavenly had been talking about sweet tea shake for the whole year and stuff like that, and so he said, "Sweet tea, are you here to sip the tea or spill the tea?" She said, "I'm here to spill the tea." And he said, "Heavenly, what do you think about sweet tea saying that she here to spill the tea? Seems more like mouth liquor to me instead of tea." And then he said, "Heavenly, uh, what can you tell us about your daughter? Heavenly, what advice do you think your daughter would give you as far as the generational gap and how you can navigate and have things with sweet tea?" Well, uh, nothing really necessary. Her and Sweet Tea almost the same age, and then Andy looked funny, Sweet Tea looked funny. Well, not the same age, but I mean the same age as far as brain wise. And Sweet Tea said, "Oh, okay, yeah, we young." And I'm looking at, girl, that wasn't even a read that you tried to do. What you call it. And that's what made me so mad with these Heavenly fans. Heavenly is one of those people that cannot read. That cannot read people like right. She kind of like a Marlo. Marlo can get a jab in here and there. It might land, it might not land. Heavenly jabs are not jabbing, and they come off of being mean girl and mean spirited. But anyway, back to the show. And so, he said, Miss Cord, how you doing?" She said, "Miss Cord is over here, Cord." And then so everybody said that. And then so he said, glad to see you here, Miss Cord." She said, "I'm glad to be here." So they kind of went over the small talk. He said, "Cord, uh, what did you think about about uh, about the issues that you have with the girl, and why anything was not settled?" She said, "Well, I tried to settle stuff with the girls uh, uh, at the resurrection and at the winery, but some of the girls just want to have problems with me. Some of the girls just want to have problems with me." And then Toya interjected and said, "Quad, you know why I have problems with you. You know why I had problems with you. You said I was cheating on Eugene with a construction worker, and then you said that I was kind of some way knew about the people who broke into Neela's house. I ain't know nothing about that." And she said, back then last year I was mad and I was upset, and so I just said anything. But I'm sorry, Toya. That was not true. I just ran with that rumor and kept on because I was hurting, and you was telling me stuff about. You was telling me, you was saying stuff about me, and then so he said, "What about the rest of the ladies?" And Simone said, "Well, Corey, you didn't take accountability. You just said the resurrection in the vineyard. You didn't take responsibility at none of those, and none of those things. We was expecting you to at least have some accountability when you went on a trip with us and stuff." And she was saying, Well, y'all booted me off the trip, and anyway, I didn't think Toya wanted me at her event. That was Toya's event, so that's why I didn't want. And she said, and Simone said Toya wanted to invite everybody. Then showed the flashbacks of Jackie and Toya having a meeting about the vacation for lunch. And she said, yeah, she wanted to invite everybody, and Jackie was saying, everybody, including Quad. She said, yeah, everybody. And then Toya interjected and said, yeah, I did want to invite everybody. I did want to invite everybody. And stuff like that. She said, if you weren't for sure that I wasn't going to invite you, you should have called me, and I would have told you that I had invited you. And that's why we wanted you to come down there. She said, but when you came down there, that was Simone. When you came down there, you made it about you, Toya, you made it about you, and stuff like that. And then so Andy said, well, Phaedra, did you really miss your flight because you were late? Did you not want to get on that flight because Kawhi was having problems with the girls? And then Phaedra gonna lie at first and say, well, now I had to take my son to school, after his birthday party and stuff. I say, Phaedra, you lied and this stuff. And then Kawhi said, yeah, Phaedra, I was wondering what was going on too, because you told me you had to go to the pharmacy. And to the pharmacy, so that's where I thought you was, at the pharmacy, until I started calling around. And then Phaedra said, well, I tried to help you solve your issues with the girls at the resurrection, but you didn't. That didn't work out. That didn't work out for me, and you kind of disappointed me when you didn't do that. And so she said, I didn't want to be on no second ship. I didn't want to be on the Titanic. And then Kawhi said, oh, so you decide that my issues was the girls, that I had issues with the girls, and I was having problems with the girls, and so you decided to change sides. You decided to jump ship and go over there with the girls. That's what Kawhi was telling Phaedra. Well, like I said, I didn't want to be on no second ship. She said, "Nah, you want to be with the girls. You want to be with the girls. You decided that you wanted to be with the girls." And then Tori said, "What's wrong? What's wrong with her choosing the other side?" She said, "But it wasn't nothing wrong with her. But she could at least told me. I thought Phaedra I thought Phaedra wouldn't do me like that. I thought Phaedra was gonna be a better friend to me like that." And then the ladies was looking, and I was in her child. Phaedra was trying to fit in where she could get in, and she knew that if she could get in with Simone and Jackie, which people are finding out that they kind of like the star of the shows now since Mariah not on there. Her child Phaedra show was gonna go on the other side just to keep her little money and her little job and her little change. But anyway, back to the show, and she said, oh, okay. And then so she said, he said, Phaedra, as Andy said, Phaedra, also, what's going on with the situation between you and Dr. Greg? She said, what you mean, you and Dr. Greg dating? She said, me and Dr. Greg never dated. We went out on a few dinners and stuff like that, but I wouldn't call that dating. And then so Sweet Tea interjected, and she said, well, Greg told me that y'all kissed at one time. And then she that didn't happen. Me and Greg ain't never kissed. And then Sweet Tea said, well, I don't think Greg would lie to me about that, and stuff like that. And then so he said, what about the $4,000? She said it was nothing like that either, and I didn't ask her for no $4,000. I said that the man that I date would have to make $4,000 or more, would have to make more than what I make. And then coordinator Jerry said, no, that's not what Greg told me. Greg told me you asked him for $4,000, and he said at that time he didn't have the $4,000 to give you, so he just backed out. And she told me, well, Andy, in the black community, date means a different thing to other people. And see, me, we just went out on dinners and talked. But see, like if we was dating, then she got her fumbling around and feeling on Simone's hand. So that's what you mean date. Andy looked at her. Oh, okay. You could tell Andy, none of the ladies on the panel believed what Phaedra was talking about. And Phaedra just lying back and forth. And then she said, well, this was Cora in her mouth. This was the funniest part of part one. When Cora said, well, if you would have dated Dr. Greg, he would have gave you $4,000 a week. That $4,000 a week would have added up to $10,000. Minus that $10,000 behind a Birkin purse and stuff. There you go. You got $10,000. And her child, the way Andy was sitting up there shaking and moving his head, and everybody else looking at the way looking at the way looking at the way Claude came up with that map, and everybody said, "Yeah, Claude is right. The map is mapping." Fraser couldn't say nothing then, and so he said okay, and then he got back to Claude. He said, "Well, Claude, what is your issue with you and Simone?" And she said, "Well, I don't know what our issue was." She said, "After the show." After last year, she said me and Simone was cool at first, but then I don't know what happened. We just kind of fell apart. Simone said, "Nah." Simone said, "When I was at my weakest thing, and I was expecting you to call, you didn't call me. You didn't call me, Cord. You never called me. You never talked to me. You never see how I was doing." She said, "But I was going through my own stuff, Simone. I was going through my own stuff." He said, "Even though you was going through your own stuff, Cord, I called you and asked you how you was doing and everything that was going on, but you didn't do me like that and stuff like that." And Cord said, "Well, Simone, you told me that you didn't want to upset Toya if you started talking back to me and stuff, because you told me we really didn't have no beef." And then that's what Simone talking about. At first, Simone was telling Andy that if 4 hours get to line, she gonna get to talking. So I guess that's what she meant when she said that when she did what she did. And so she said, Toya was there for me. Toya's husband, Eugene, cooked for me. Even Toya came on and checked up on me when I was going through my stuff. You didn't call, you didn't do nothing. So Toya's been with me for what you call. You think I'm gonna ruin my relationship with Toya for you and stuff like that? When you never call, you never see about nobody, you kind of distance yourself from the group. That's what Simone was saying. And she did. Corey just said, I had my own problem. Your stuff was going on and stuff like that." She said, "Yeah, when you had your problem with your," and she said, Simone don't say it. Simone went on and said, when your niece passed away and fell in your pool and stuff, and it was like the whole atmosphere changed when Simone said that. And then Cord got to crying. Now, the part about her niece dying in the pool, I do think Toya was actually upset and concerned. But the second part of her crying later on in the episode, those were fake tears. But anyway, when she got through, she said, you know that affected me real bad. That affected me, but I'm just saying you was not there for me for that. And so when Cord got to crying, Phaedra hugged her and gave her some napkins and stuff like that. And she was saying, I'm just saying. You said, that was the most terrible part of my life, and I'm still going through that, Simone. That still affects me to this day. I do agree with Cord on that part. When you have a tragedy happen at your house, and especially it's a loved one that was visiting your house, and you love your little nieces and cousins, and something happened to you, baby, that do affect you. So Cord was right on that part. And then after that, Heavenly interjected and said, "Yeah." She said, "Yeah," and she said, "Yeah." She said, "Yeah." She said, "Yeah." You didn't even call me. You didn't even call me, Cord, after after the stuff that happened and stuff like that. So I was wondering why you didn't call me, because I was saying I thought me and Cord was closer than that and stuff like that. And Cord said, "Heavenly, just like I told you and Jack and the rest of them, I was going through my own stuff, and at that time I needed to distance myself so I could deal with what I had to deal with." And then so Andy said, "Oh, Dr. Jackie, you had a little controversy about a video that you put up on Heavenly's YouTube channel about 2 years ago about women in their infertility and how some patients just want to get off of work." She said, "Andy, that was the most worst part of my life ever because I'm a stellar doctor. I'm a good doctor. I'm a good doctor in the community. And when that happened to me over like a 20-second video and stuff like that, that was the most horrible thing. People coming at me talking about me, and then and then Jackie said the first person who reached out to me was Phaedra, and Phaedra, I'm so grateful and happy that you did that. Phaedra said, Dr. Jackie, I know how it feels to be on the other side where people are talking about you and crucifying you and talking about your name. So that's why I called. And then Simone said, I called too, Jackie. You remember I called? And then so Dr. Jackie said, well, Corey, you didn't even call and talk to me about stuff. Before I said, I tried to call, and I was going to call and talk to you, but I called Heavenly first, and I said, Heavenly, do you think I should call Dr. Jackie? And Heavenly told me, no, don't call Dr. Jackie. Dr. Jackie is not in a good mood. And Simone said, well, why do you feel the need to think that you have to go through Heavenly to talk to Dr. Jackie? She said, I called Dr. Jackie directly myself. She said, well, I just wanted to find out what's going on, and Heavenly told me not to, so that's why I didn't do it. And Heavenly said, I did say that because at that time, I had just got through talking to Jackie the day before, and at that time, Jackie told me she wasn't feeling that good, so that's what I told Cora. And what you call got mad at me, and Simone got mad again. And Simone said, that's what I'm talking about. She talking about Jackie, the stuff that people have to go through, and you're not speaking up for yourself, and you letting Dr. Heavenly be your mouthpiece. That's putting a strain on our relationship. She said, well, I'm not telling Heavenly to say stuff that she said. Heavenly do that on her own. Heavenly got her own mind. See, that's what I'm talking about. Heavenly got her own mind, but you don't speak up, Dr. Jackie. That's the problem when you don't speak up and call Heavenly out on the stuff that she be saying and doing. And then Heavenly got to saying, well, I'm Dr. Jackie's friend too, and stuff like that. Dr. Jackie can have more than one friend. And Simone said, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, why you always talking about Dr. Jackie? And then Andy said, well, Dr. Jackie, well, you said, like I said, what you call can have her own mind, and stuff like that. And he said, and Dr. Jackie said, well, I did apologize for what I said to the people in the community, but Dr. Jackie, you still didn't take no accountability. And Andy said, okay, let's move on. And then they moved on. And then the next thing they did was Heavenly said, well, Corey, people did think that you was one of the ones that might have put the video, that might have leaked the video out. She said, Heavenly, how would I link the video out? I don't have no contact or no information with your YouTube channel. I can't be leaking your video out. So I hope nobody thought that. And she said, I thought it, and I think Dr. Jackie thought it too at one time. Dr. Jackie said, well, Corey, I don't know. You had distanced yourself from me. You hadn't called me. I didn't know. I wasn't for sure, and stuff like that. And so Andy said, okay, we're going to take a break. And while they was taking a break, Corey was talking to Dr. Jackie. Said, Dr. Jackie, you know I wouldn't do that. You know I wouldn't do that to you. She was proud of it. You know I just said, I don't know what I don't know, Corey. We'll have to talk about it later. And next thing you know, the reunion part one ended. To me, reunion part one was good, even though it was mostly about Corey. I liked it that Sweet Tea got a chance to see her, get her little points in across. And like I said, people don't want to say that Sweet Tea don't fit in. Sweet Tea fits in. She knows how to pull it in, pull it back. She don't go over the board like Heavenly. So I did like this reunion. This is A. Wesley. That ain't even tells it like a T.I. is. I am out.